In this video, we are going to discuss about the calculation of water content in the natural gas. So we have a different methods for the calculation of water content. One method is a partial pressure approach. Second method is the empirical plots, empirical correlations are available. And the third method is the equation of states, where we can go for the equation of states available. So we have going one by one. Especially we are discussing about the empirical plots. All these three plots we are going to discuss on how to calculate the water content using these plots. So first one is the partial pressure approach. It's a very simple one. We know about the Dalton's law and Raoult's law. So with the help of that one, we are going to calculate. This equation is very well known equation. P YW is equal to P star W XW. So this is about P, that is the total pressure of the system of the given natural gas. YW is the mole fraction of a water and natural gas. That is our desired one. This one is our desired value we want to find out. P star W, it is basically the vapor pressure of the water at the given pressure and temperature. XW is the mole fraction of water in the liquid phase. Since in the natural gas system, so in the natural gas means hydrocarbons are there plus water vapor are there. In the liquid, if the liquid is there, so this liquid is a pure water, because natural gas cannot be condensed in the liquid phase at a normal temperature and pressure. So XW becomes 1, it becomes value of 1, that will be 1. So automatically PYW is equal to P star. So YW is nothing but the P star W upon P. So that can be considered as the working equation for calculation of the YW, that is the mole fraction of water in the natural gas. With the help of this equation, obviously this is a very approximate method. We can get the water content at a very approximate value, not the exact value. Come to the partial pressure approach. So we have a three different approach. One is a Maketa and Wehe correlation, Robinson et al. Correlation, and third is a Campbell correlation. There are so many other correlation empirical plots also, but we are going to discuss only these three one. So let us take one by one. Maketa and Wehe correlation, that is the first one. So in this one, this is used for the natural gas, which is a sweet in nature, means acid gas, acid concentration and acid content is basically very low, so that the natural gas becomes a sweet natural gas. It includes the correction factor for gas gravity and the water salinity. So as we have already discussed in the previous video, there are effect of the gas gravity in the water content, and also the effect of salinity is there with the water content. So if we know about the gas gravity and water salinity, we can even incorporate the correction factor for these two factors, for these two parameters, and the results we get, that is a very much accurate, and we can accept that result for especially for the sweet gases. So this is a graph. Basically with the help of this graph we can find out, or we can calculate the water content of the sweet natural gas. If you see about the x-axis is the temperature given in degree Fahrenheit. If you see about the y-axis our desired one, that is the pounds of the water per million standard cubic feet of the wet natural gas at the standard temperature and pressure, that is nothing but the 60 degree Fahrenheit temperature and 14.7 psi absolute pressure. And then we have a different constant line. This is the pressure line, different constant pressure line, that is called the Hydrate formation pressure line, that is a psi absolute. If you close locally, that is closely look here, that is 14.7, 25, 50, 100, 200, 400, 500, 800, 1500, 10,000 psi. So these are the basically the values are here given here. So with the help of the given parameters, for normally temperature is given here and the pressure value is given. With the help of these two parameters, we can find out the y-axis, that is our desired target. Then we can go for the correction factor. This is a one correction factor. If you look closely, this is a correction factor, and we can guess for the gas gravity correction factor. So here we can get, but before that we have to find out the value, this y value, it has to be basically incorporated here. Similarly, this is a correction for the salinity. The salinity correction factor is also there. So these two correction factors are required for any natural gas. We can get the more accurate and more acceptable results from this. Now come to the second method, that is the Robinson et al. Method. So in the Robinson et al. Method, basically it tells about it can be used for the sour gases. That is the first one. Means it can, sour gases you can use for the sweet and sour both gases. It is based on the SRK equation of state. So this is one of the very famous equation of state used for so many calculations. So this Robinson et al. Correlation, the charts was developed based on the SRK equation. How we can do it? So there are some assumptions, or you can say some steps, procedures. The first one, you can say that the hydrocarbon portion of the gas, for example, we know that in any natural gas, one is portion is hydrocarbon, one is acid gas, and the third is the water content. So in the hydrocarbon C1, C2, C3, and there are so many hydrocarbon components are there. So the hydrocarbon portion of the gas is assumed to be pure methane. That is the first our assumption. We have only assumed that pure methane is only the available hydrocarbon. Second one is, in the acid gas we know that there are two components. One is H2S and the second is CO2. So we have to also convert these two values in the single one. So how? The CO2 value carries only 75% as much water as H2S under the same conditions. So it means that if we know about the H2S water content, we can find out the CO2 water content. So the total water concentration content can be calculated as hydrocarbon portion as methane plus water content due to the H2S plus water content due to the CO2, that is nothing but the 75% of the water content of the H2S. That is a simple one. So now how to do these things? So we need basically the three graphs. One graph for the methane, one graph for the H2S, and one graph for the CO2. See here how we can do it. So if you look about this one value, x-axis is the degree Fahrenheit temperature value is given here. We have three different graphs. This is a pressure, 300 psi pressure. You can go this line, and there are 5 different criteria, 5 different possibilities of the composition. Well, the first one is the 100% methane, means no acid gases. The second case, on dry basis, means water is ignored here on dry basis. 10% H2S and the remaining is 90% methane. So H2S means H2S plus CO2. Third condition is 20% H2S and 80% methane. Remaining fourth condition 30%, fifth condition 50% H2S and 60% methane. So these are the 5 different conditions on which we are going to find out the water content. Let us take about the first one. This is the pressure. So the pressure value is, if the pressure value is 300 psi, you will see that almost all the conditions, the value are same, means there are only one line for all these conditions. If you increase the pressure, by increasing the pressure you will observe that there are 3 different lines, 1, 3, 5, means 1 and 3 and 5. There are 3 lines for all these 5 conditions. So we have to assume the, for example, second condition is not given, fourth conditions are not given. So we have to assume in between these values. And if you increase the pressure further at 2000 psi, you will see that all these 5 conditions are separately showing all these 5 conditions. So we can, if suppose the pressure is given 2000 psi, temperature is given 250, and the condition is given as 10% H2S, so we have to follow it, and we can find out y-axis, and y-axis is nothing but y-axis the barrels of H2O per million standard cubic feet of gas. So our desirable value is y-axis, and this y-axis is basically how to know about calculation of y-axis, because this graph contains 3 different graphs. So this is the division. This is the division, means you have to read all these values in this axis, this y-axis, and you have to read all these values in this y-axis. That is the important thing. You cannot read these values in this y-axis, otherwise you will have a wrong values, because if you see that it is 1.0, it is a 0.1. So there is a difference between the 10 value difference here, and this is a log graph. Both log graph is there. So in this way we can find out. Similarly, you can go for the 3000, you can go for the 6000 psi. These are again the different graphs, and you can see clearly all these 5 different conditions. So all these conditions are given here. This is y-axis for this value, and this is y-axis for this value, and you can find out the water content. Now come to the third method, that is the Campbell method, Campbell correlations. They can use for the sweet and sour gases both. The first one, it is very similar to the data of Maketa and Behe. It means that we have to find hydrocarbon portion with the help of Maketa and Behe correlation. So same graph is used for the hydrocarbon calculations, and if it is a sour gases, then we have to incorporate the basically the effect of the CO2 and effect of the H2S. We have to add this one. It doesn't include the correction factor for gas, gravity, and water salinity. So that is the one advantage here. For the large acid gaseous cable gives the weight average water content as follows. So how to calculate this one? Weight average water content. So you have to calculate first, find out the water content of the hydrocarbon, then multiply this by the weight fraction or the molar fraction of the hydrocarbon present in that particular composition. Similarly, you have to find out the CO2 water content and then find out the concentration of CO2. Just multiply, you can get the water content responsible for the due to the CO2. Similarly, this third one, H2S. So this was basically the water content responsible due to the presence of the H2S, and the first one parameter is water content responsible due to the presence of hydrocarbon. So in this way, you have to all these three values, and you can get the total overall water content of the given natural gas. So how to do for the CO2 and H2S? These are the graphs. This is the graph for CO2. So here the pressure is given here. These are the temperature values are given here. With the help of pressure and temperature, you can find the y-axis. Y-axis the water content in pounds per million standard cubic feet at the given condition of temperature and pressure. That is the standard condition, 60 degree Fahrenheit and 14.7 psi. So this is the basically effective water content of saturated. That is the maximum water content due to the CO2. Means if 100% CO2 is there, but for example if 5% CO2 is there, so 0.0 multiply by the water content due to the CO2. Simple. So this will tells about the contribution of a water content due to the presence of CO2. Similarly, this graph is H2S. So pressure value and temperature values are given. With the help of these two values, you can find out the Y value. Y value is the water content in pounds per million standard cubic feet. Similarly, again this y-axis is 100% H2S, and if you have hardly 10%, so 0.1 multiply by the water content due to the H2S. That will tell us about the contribution of the water content due to the H2S. So you have to simply find out these two values, and the third value is calculated with the help of the Baketa and Wehe correlation. So that can also be shown here.